is cold outside. At least the sun came out. Fuck me, I need a glass of wine. Hey you!
Huh?
Over here by the fridge. Come on, don't be shy. Open this thing up.
What? What the fuck?
Hello, my beautiful.
Man, that's fucked up. Fuck yeah. I gotta be careful. My buddy Joe told me a glass of wine a day means I'm an alcoholic, so cheers to that. Time to take the load off. Brant? You upstairs? Oh man, fuck me gently. Whew. I'm bushed. Let's see what's on the boob tube. Feel like watching a movie. Oh fuck! Terminator! I've seen this 100 times. Let's see what else is on. Oh, Psycho! Love this movie. Hey, what is going on there? Let's turn this off. What's going on, everybody? Cameron here with Canadian Gamer. I got a fun little episode. Again, continuing with the Halloween theme. I'm going to try to, maybe not every video, but sprinkle a few in here and there throughout the month of October, because it is probably my most favorite holiday. Well, not a holiday, I don't know what you'd call it. The theme of the month is Halloween. Let's just leave it at that. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 creepiest games in my collection. Now, I'm not talking, well, would you say creepy and scary are the same? I don't know. I'd say maybe they're a little bit different. We'll get to that in a minute. So these are the top 5 in my collection. I'm not saying these are the creepiest games of all time. Feel free to chime in the comments below if you guys have any other games you want to throw in this list. Before we get started, let me take a sip of my wine. So yeah, narrowing down this list, it wasn't too difficult. Although I love horror movies and I love anything horror related games as well. I don't have that many games in my collection that kind of fall into this genre, but from what I do have, I think I got a decent little list here. Now, before I show you my top 5, I want to just mention my honorable mentions. And the first one is, now this is a very hard to find original Xbox game that a lot of people don't know about. It's got a fixed camera position and pre-rendered backgrounds, very much like the early Resident Evil titles. And that's called Curse: The Eyes of Isis. If you see this in the wild, don't hesitate to pick this up. Honestly, and I'm not just saying this, I've never seen this anywhere else. I picked it up at my local used game store last year and I got it for a real good deal. It's not even complete in box, it's just the disc, but hey, it's still the game. So it's a very good game. I have played about 45 minutes to an hour of it. I have to go back to this game. It's not quite as good as Resident Evil, but again, it's if you're a fan of survival horror, then you need to have this in your collection. So now that I've said that, watch the price of this game go up on eBay. And the second honorable mention, and the reason why I put it on this list, it's Fatal Frame 2 Crimson Butterfly. This is the director's cut for the original Xbox. Again, an extremely hard to get, hard to find game on the original Xbox. Even on the PS2, it's hard to find. This is mint, CIB. It's going to cost you upwards of probably $60 to $70 if you want to pick this up either online or at your local game store. I don't know if you're going to be able to find it anywhere else, guys. It's again kind of like survival horror. And I'm not going to get too much into it here, but the reason why I don't put it in my top 5 is because I just can't get into it. I can't get far enough into it to really say whether I like it or not. It is creepy as all hell. The graphics and the art direction, the aesthetics are top notch in this game. And I guess you could probably put the original Fatal Frame on there as well. Maybe even the other sequels. So that's a game that you guys should look out for, is Fatal Frame 2. get it on the PlayStation 2 or the original Xbox. I don't think it was on the GameCube. I could be mistaken. So here we go. Top 5 list. Coming in at number 5, The Suffering, and that's by Midway. The Suffering, you star as Torque, and you've been put away in a prison. You're locked up because of, I think he brutally murdered his family, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just I don't know, you turn the lights off in your games room or wherever you are, you play this game, and you're in this maximum security jail, this prison, if you will, and you can hear the voices inside the prison, and there's demons coming at you, and you got to find your way out of the prison. Oh man, it's just, anybody that knows this game, you know this is like a true hidden gem. This is one that like nobody really talks about, but those who have played it, they know that it's a good game. There is a sequel, The Tides That Bind, and it's basically more of the same. I would say this is probably the better of the two. But yeah, just the audio, the music, the theme, being in that prison, it just captures, you know, the creepiness of that vibe, right? Like nobody wants to be in a prison, let alone with the lights out. So again, if you guys see The Suffering out there, don't hesitate. Definitely pick it up. It's a great game. I got really far into it. I didn't beat it. Again, another game I have to go back to. So number 4 on my list. This isn't even my most favorite Resident Evil, to be honest with you. I just put it on there because of the creep factor, and that's Resident Evil 4. Now, we're not going to talk about this. It's been beaten to death. But the reason why I mentioned Resident Evil 4 is because more so than the other Resident Evils, you know, this one here, you're going through that wooded area, and I almost find at the beginning of the game, the fact that it's actually daylight, for some reason or another, makes it even more creepy. You're walking through the woods, it's almost like a Blair Witch aesthetic. Man, the first time I played this game, it still holds up really well. Again, it is creepy as all hell. You've got the Gorgarian chanting in some of the later levels, and even, was it this one where the zombies aren't zombies or more like humans? Or was that number 5? I don't know, but like I said, the fact that this is outside for quite a bit of the game, and like I said, just the eeriness to it, the music, the graphics. The first time this really went sort of like third-person perspective without the fixed backgrounds, and Capcom really nailed it out of the park with this game. A lot of people to this day still consider this to be the best Resident Evil, and a lot of people consider this to be the best version of RE4 on the original PlayStation. So if you're not too sure which version to pick up, go online and read about it. There's those out there that kind of say the aspect ratio and a few other things make this the best version to have. I've heard the Wii version is no slouch either, especially with the Wii controls and the remote. So here we go. We've got, how many do I have here? I guess we're down to number 3. Can't count. The original Dead Space. Now, again, I got really far into this. You star as Isaac, and you're on this derelict ship. And man, it's like, truly, this is like Ridley Scott's Alien, the video game. Again, it's extremely creepy. You can hear Isaac breathing through his suit, through his oxygen that he has. And, oh man, just the dead space. I remember the certain areas where you kind of get sucked out of the ship. And you're floating around, and you only have so much oxygen. You have to get back into the ship so you can continue to breathe. And it just ratchets up the anxiety that this game delivers. And yeah, it's definitely one of the creepiest survival horror games of all time. A lot of people would say the second one's better than the first. I own the second one. I haven't played it yet, and the reason is because I haven't beaten this one yet. But again, it just nails that alien aesthetic of being on that derelict ship, and a lot of tense moments where there's absolute dead silence, and all of a sudden you get that jump scare, that creature that pops out and you blast away. Yeah, I'm really impressed with Dead Space. I had a hard time finding the original labeled case for this. A lot of the greatest hits out there, the platinum hits, but it's hard to find this variant. And yes, I have to get this sticker off, so that's something that it's on the back burner. It's not a main priority. Number 2, I've gushed about this before, and that's Doom 3, and this is BFG edition, and this is the reverse cover art Xbox 360. Doom 3, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is the best Doom of all time. Again, very much like Dead Space, you're on a kind of like a derelict ship, and again, it's really weird for a Doom game because it has, I don't want to say RPG elements, but it has a bit of a storyline, and there are sections where you're not just blasting away like the new reimagined Dooms that have come out recently. I can't get into that. But this one here, there's some tense moments. The graphics are extremely dark. Some people would say almost too dark. And I love the art direction. And even the music, it's got a bit of a Nine Inch Nails vibe to it. I know Trent Reznor was originally on tap to do the soundtrack for this game, and he pulled out at the 11th hour. And you can clearly tell because id Software, they still went with that Trent Reznor Nine Inch Nails direction, and you can really hear it in the game, and it makes it all that much more creepier. So Doom 3 is one of my most favorite games of all time, and the lighting in this game too, oh my god. I can't say enough good things about this. This game holds up extremely well even in the year 2020. Now, the final game I have on my list here, again, another one that's been beaten to death, beaten like a dead horse, and that's the incomparable Silent Hill 2 Restless Dreams. Now, this is the Platinum Hits variant, and this has the DLC that's on it as well. What's it called? Shattered Memories? I can't quite remember what it's called. But this game, oh my god. Let me first admit I used a walkthrough to beat this game, but I had to because it was so creepy walking around not knowing where I was going. And I think that's part of what sells this game, and maybe I should have just played it through like that. But man, oh man, when you're walking, like, it's one thing when you're walking around in the town and you got the fog and everything, but it's extra creepy whenever you walk into the houses or the apartment buildings. Oh my fucking god. I can remember saying to myself, just get me the hell out of here. And there's some crazy set pieces as well, and a lot of the creepiness of the game is the atmosphere. It's not necessarily when you're in those intense battles, because there's not that many of them, but when you're just sort of walking around, and again, fixed camera angles, pre-rendered backgrounds, and you just don't know what's going to happen next. So yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, Silent Hill 2, I would say, is the creepiest game of all time. If you haven't played it, pick it up. Try going through without using a walkthrough, and just immerse yourself in the environment and see how you fare. It's an extremely difficult game because, again, you don't know where you're going, and it doesn't take much for your health to deplete. So I did manage to beat it. I haven't really tapped into the DLC. One of these days I will do that. This is also one of my most favorite games of all time, and I'd love to see, probably won't happen, I'd love to see Konami revisit the Silent Hill franchise and give us a proper sequel or a proper entry into the series, because the series has been sort of dragged through the mud the last couple of years. So that's it. This is an expensive game, fairly expensive. It's more expensive if you don't get the Platinum Hits. But again, if you do get the Platinum Hits, it's got the DLC on the disc. So I don't think the standard version has that. So this was really fun for me to do this. I know I kind of blasted through those titles, but I just wanted to give you a taste, at least of my opinion, of some of the creepiest games out there, at least on the consoles that I had. Now you'll see I didn't really say a lot about the Xbox One, not too much on the 360. I find the last couple of generations there hasn't really been those types of old school horror games that really suck you in and have those jump scares. So maybe once the 9th gen rolls around here in a couple of weeks, we'll see a return to form, and we'll see a lot of these companies, maybe some of these indie developers, come out with these games as well, because it's it's a forgotten time having games like, yeah, look at this. I got three original Xbox, a 360, and 2 PS2 games on here. 4 Xbox. So yeah, I think I'm gonna cut it off there. We're right around the 13-minute mark. I hope you guys enjoyed that intro. Hey, we gotta have fun around here sometimes. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Have a great rest of your week. Take care.